The following is a Learfield presentation of the Georgia Southern Sports Network. On the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield, presented by Morris Bank, this is Hail Southern Live. Live at Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Hot wings, cold beer, and good times. Coming up, your all-access pass into Georgia Southern athletics, including a visit with head football coach Clay Helton. Hail Southern Live is brought to you by Morris Bank. It pays to bank blue. Morris Bank, member FDIC. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Please enjoy responsibly. Optum Orthopedics, your team, your community, your freedom. Optum Orthopedics, they're here for you. And by Savannah Hilton Head International Airport and the Savannah Airport Commission. Make sure to tweet your questions to @GS Sports Network. Now let's head live inside Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro.
Welcome into Hail Southern Live at Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. I am not Danny Reed or Terry Harvin, but I am Whitney Haworth, and I am pleased to be joined by Cam Brown, our General Manager of Georgia Southern Sports Properties, to get tonight's show started. So Cam, first of all, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for inviting me to host tonight's show.
Thanks for letting me come on the show. I appreciate you.
Hey, you know it must be a busy night if the two of us are up here. Obviously, we're going to talk some football. We're going to talk a couple other things, but naturally we've got Danny Reed and Terry down in Jacksonville supporting Georgia Southern's men's basketball team. Colin Lacey, our engineer, will keep us updated on that. But first and foremost, busy 3 months for you thus far. Not only have you been elevated into this position, but you also became a first-time dad, so congratulations.
Thank you. I did. He's actually here. He's sitting in the back. He's sleeping.
I was going to say, I heard him talking a little bit earlier, so clearly we've calmed him down a little bit so he can take in tonight's show, right?
Yeah, he's a little upset.
So,
yeah.
Tell me more, the last 3 months, the last 90 days, what have you learned about everything so far in this job? Naturally, it was just changing positions. It's not a brand new thing for you, but what have you learned in this particular role?
A lot greater time demands, for sure. I think it's just been about time management and scheduling. That's been a lot different, but the role itself is actually similar in a lot of ways. I'm doing the same things, working with the same team. Terry's just as involved as maybe he was even when he's not on our team anymore, so still talk to him every day. But yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot of change, but it's been all good. And
the good thing about your previous role in working with Terry is that you kind of knew if Terry ever left his role, hopefully that might be a step in your direction that you went. So how was he influential in those previous years to get you to where you are now?
He was influential because he was prepping me at times that I didn't really even know he was prepping me. The conversations and the meetings he allowed me to sit in on, especially the last year and a half as we kind of got a little deeper into it. At times I went to these different meetings and sat on things just because I was invited, but now I kind of realize, hey, I need you here so you have a better understanding, as if we do transition at some point, you're ready. So, he helped prep me a lot.
How uncomfortable is it to sit up here and have to talk about Terry Harvin like that?
It's better that he's not here. That'd be a little nicer.
Yeah, he should be down in Jacksonville fundraising, taking part in his new role over the Athletic Foundation. So maybe he's not even tuned in.
No, he's probably not. He said he was playing a really bad round of golf today, and I think he's at the game right now. I think we're Colin can probably tell us, but a couple minutes left in the first half. So,
Colin, do we have an update on the men's basketball game? Probably not. He'll let us know when we do.
Yeah.
Tell me, Cam, you played football here at Georgia Southern, and now as a part of your role with GSSP in Learfield, you work a lot, obviously with partnerships, but also NIL and those partnerships with our student athletes. What have you seen over the last few years in those positions, and how those partnerships impact student athletes today, and when you think about when you were playing, how it might have impacted you or your fellow teammates?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. The NIL stuff has transitioned, as we both know, so much since, it came on in 2020, I guess. And it's just a lot different now than it was 6 months ago and 6 months before that. So it's just really educational. You've got to know, what you're looking for, how to talk to our different corporate partners about it, what the opportunities are. And again, it's different all the time. So, I think my lens is a little unique because I did play and played fairly recently. So I have a pretty good feel for kind of the current student athletes. I'm not that much older than them, and what they might be looking for, and get to kind of hang around with the radio guys and spend some time around our student athletes to have a feel for kind of the personalities in the locker room and different sports and who might be good fit for different brand partners. So just figuring out how to pair those two things together.
And talking about one pairing would be Parker's Kitchen and their partnership that they have gotten to have with not only 3 of our football athletes, but one in particular, Davion Chewy Rhodes. So for those that may need a little bit more of a explanation on partnerships and how this works, tell me about that one and why it's so fitting that Chewy is partnered with Parker's.
Yeah, it was funny because when we started the talks with Parker's, they didn't really know what they wanted, what level they wanted to get involved in, and they initially weren't planning to do any NIL until they heard about Chewy Rose, and that paired with their Chewy Ice and their mascot, and they came to the table and asked about him. And one thing led to another, and he was kind of the official brand ambassador for them. So they found that organically and made the connection and decided that was the best fit for them.
And then you are able to implement them into game day atmosphere, into timeouts. We saw Chewy the mascot at a previous game.
Yeah, they have a lot of different things they're doing with us. They're going to continue to do more throughout basketball season with the men's and women's in the Hill, and they're going to have a lot of stuff during baseball season. If you're a student, you go to the student entrance at any of our facilities, and it's going to be branded with Parker's. So they have a lot of unique athletes.
And we just got a men's basketball score update with 2:57 left in the first half. Georgia Southern 23, Youngstown State 25. So we'll keep an eye on that. Tell me, moving forward, obviously football is beginning to wind down. What can Georgia Southern fans expect as we move forward into basketball season and then further on into baseball, softball, and so on? Yeah,
I think, obviously football has been interesting this year, but it's funny when you look at it, how fast the season goes and how fast the home games go by. And, I think just from our lens, just looking back at 6 games, it's been a really successful year on our end. Really proud of our team and the partnership assets we put together. And we have a lot of cool things coming for basketball and baseball as well. So really excited about baseball, the new facility, and some of the opportunities that's going to give us. So working on some exciting stuff there.
I'll put you on the spot. Is there anything you can share with us or tease Eagle Nation with?
You did put me on the spot. I don't know if there's anything that's exciting that I'm allowed to say on the show.
Okay, that's fair. We'll allow that. And you talk about how fast the time goes. We'll go back to your firstborn. What do they say? The days are long, but the years are short. So what have you learned in these first few months as a father that have gotten you to this point?
Learned how valuable sleep is. That's gotten better. But I think it's crazy looking at them every single day and really looking at pictures from just a few weeks ago, how fast he's changed and how fast they change. And everyone has told me that from the jump, and you believe them, but you don't really understand. So it's been cool. But yeah, 2 months has gone by, and it's kind of hard to believe we're there.
And obviously it's Thanksgiving week. So what are you most thankful for? And Cam, if you don't say your wife, Katie, who's also sitting back there, then we're going to probably have some issues at some point.
Yeah, she's staring at me. So yes, definitely thankful for Katie. She's there. Katie and Bennett. They're the most thankful, but also thankful for my role and the opportunity that I have here at Georgia Southern to kind of be at my alma mater, be at a place that we love, and just get to enjoy it every day and never try to take it for granted.
Well, Cam, we certainly appreciate you being up here with us again. Thank you for having me be the host of tonight's show. And according to Colin, there are somewhat no rules to this show, so we might be able to head to break at this point in time. And then we will be back and joined by head coach Clay Helton.
Fantastic. Thanks, Whitney.
Thank you, Cam. Appreciate it.
Your cargo transportation choice in Savannah and the Southeast. For freight management, consolidation, warehousing, and more, including flexible and responsive drayage solutions. Your success is our final destination. Savannah Logistics Group.
A logistics company that strives to deliver the best drivers, employees, and customer experience through our core values of empowerment, innovation, and consistency. Savannah Logistics Group, a proud supporter of Georgia Southern Athletics.
Eagle Nation, this is William Martin from Southern Exchange Company. We're proud to always bring you the best selection of Georgia Southern gear for game day and every day. Make sure to stop by and visit us at our store across from campus on Chandler Road or online at southernexchangecompany.com. Follow Southern Exchange on social media at SXC Statesboro for the latest gear in stock. Southern Exchange Company, the official merchandiser of Georgia Southern Athletics.
Don't let an injury keep you on the sidelines. Go where the pros go. Optum Orthopedics. They're the official orthopedic and team physicians for Georgia Southern Athletics. Thanks to Optum, our Eagles get the best care on and off the field. The good news is that Optum is here for you too. Located in our community, Optum is the leader in advanced orthopedic care throughout the Southeast. Like the Eagles, you deserve the freedom to soar. And with Optum's fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons, you will. Your team, your community, your freedom. Optum Orthopedics. Schedule online today.
Looking to level up your brand? Since 1977, Bahama Joe's has been your go-to for custom apparel, promo products, and merch that gets noticed. From screen printing to embroidery to swag that makes a statement, we bring your vision to life. Locally owned, creatively driven, and island-inspired, we've got your back, your shirt, and your brand. Bahama Joe's, branded to stand out. Visit bahamajoes.com today.
Whether you're cheering from the 50-yard line or your living room couch, Citizens Bank of the South is proud to stand with you in support of the Georgia Southern Eagles. From student checking to home loans, they've got your back on campus, in their communities, and beyond. Owned and managed by a strong group of Georgia Southern alumni, Team Seabots is fiercely loyal and always bring their best, just like the Eagles. Citizens Bank of the South is banking built for champions. Local, loyal, loud, and proud to be in Sandersville, Statesboro, and Milledgeville. Visit them today at Seabots.com. FDIC insured and an equal opportunity employer.
Cerchero's Fresh Mex, Statesboro's home for friendly Tex-Mex fresh every day, is proud to partner with Eagle fans to bring you party platters, taco kits, and fresh boxes, perfect for tailgating. Stop in before the game to enjoy burritos, tacos, nachos, quesadillas, salads, and bowls created just how you want them, with only the freshest of ingredients. Take advantage of online ordering to pick up at the window for quick service on the way to the game. Visit us online at Cercheros.com, proud supporters of Georgia Southern Athletics.
When it comes to your heating and cooling needs, don't sacrifice your comfort. Ogeechee Heating and Air has served Southeast Georgia and surrounding communities for more than 15 years. With more than 35 years of industry experience, these licensed and insured heating contractors have the experience and know-how to get your HVAC job done right the first time. Whether you're selecting a new heating or cooling system, repairing an existing system, or you just want lower energy bills and a healthier home, Ogeechee Heating and Air has the service and expertise you're looking for. Call today, 912-739-4035.
Hey Eagle Nation, it's Stacy Underwood from Uncle Shook's Barbecue Place. We are proud to be a sponsor of the Georgia Southern football team again this year. Remember, game day isn't complete without some of our delicious barbecue. Load up on all your Uncle Shook's favorites for your tailgate. Barbecue pork, smoked chicken, chicken fingers, macaroni and cheese, or any of our other delicious sides. Order online, UncleShooks.com. Go Eagles!
This is Hail Southern Live, powered by Learfield, live at Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro.
Welcome back to Hail Southern Live. Pleased to be joined by Georgia Southern head football coach Clay Helton. Thanks so much for being with me tonight, Coach.
Thank you, Whitney.
You and I got to speak all day long. Again, I'm taking Danny's role today, so while I've gotten to hear a couple things about this past weekend, we'll share again with a new crowd tonight. So obviously looking back on senior day at Paulson Stadium, the game against Old Dominion, of course, did not go the way we wanted. You said it, point blank, we did not play up to our standard. But now that you've had some time to digest, kind of what are your takeaways from Saturday's game?
Yeah, obviously with the great start we had in early November, you go to App State and get a big win on the road. You come home against Coastal Carolina, get in a shootout, find a way to win that game. You're riding in a lot of momentum. And then all of a sudden you don't come out and you don't play to your standard of what we're capable of. I thought it really started, we've been a really start-fast offense over the last 4 to 5 games, and we came out of the blocks a little slow. We have an interception on the second play of the game that gives the ball in the red zone to ODU, and then get a 3 and out. They come right back, and it's 14-0. And then, we get a little bit aggressive at midfield. We have a 3rd and 2, and then a 4th and 1. We don't make that, and now you look up, defense gets to stop it at 17-0. And against a team like ODU, I was hoping it was going to be one of those 35-28 games, but you just can't start out that slow against Colton Joseph and that offense. And so, offensively, I know we can play a lot better with the skilled players that we have. You look at it and kind of shell-shocked us a little bit to lose O.J. and Dalen Cobb right off the bat in the first 2 series. But I know that we can play a lot better all the way around.
We'll talk about Dalen and OJ and some of those other guys here in a minute. But naturally, because they go down, then it's the next man up mentality. And we got to see some positive things from a couple different players who haven't gotten as much playing time. You look at Dylan Gary, Teo Todd, Taylor Bradshaw. Just kind of run me through some of those plays that you saw from those guys and how special it was that they got some playing time.
Yeah, it was really important. You know, you're talking about the future of Eagle football, and Teo Todd we've been really excited about, as well as Bryce Baker, who's really done a nice job for us on some of our heavy packages. And all of a sudden you look up and a guy that just had 300 yards of offense walks out of the game, and you know you need that running back to come in there and make plays. And I thought Teo did a really, really nice job coming in there and helping us. You know, Taylor's been a guy that has been part of our 10 personnel look, our 4 wides look. He's played a significant amount of time. You know, really was looking forward to having his role expand this year. It has, and he's made plays. And then you look up and now, oh my gosh, Dalen goes down. I got to be the guy. And I really thought he did a terrific job out in space. I thought he did a really nice job with the intermediate routes and, you know, really played like a vet. And you expect that. It's his 3rd year of being here and really did a good job. And then I'll tell you the other guy, as far as a big man, you have Johnny Brown go out. Anytime you lose your start left tackle, you're taking a deep breath and going, oh my God, what is going on? But Matthew Williams, who's been waiting for that opportunity, Big 51 steps in, as well as Colin Alexander, the right tackle that played in that game. And both those 2 young tackles I thought really showed out and held their own. So, you know, when we hit a little bit of adversity, some other guys got some opportunities, and I was proud for them to step in there and do their job. And
it's certainly always exciting to see those players get those opportunities. I mean, you talk about Matthew Williams, always a very positive person on the sidelines. A true teammate, the consummate teammate, if you can have someone like that.
Yeah, you know, we've got great leadership. I'm looking at a guy that's a 50-game starter in Pichon, Wimbley, and I think about the chemistry of that room, and they've played so much ball together. But you know what they've done a really nice job of? The older veterans have really lifted up the young guys and brought them into the fold and have taught them our culture. And that room is so tight and so connected. I mean, you got 10 guys that could start anywhere in this league that we're really deep at the position. So that's why when all of a sudden, you know, Johnny goes down and you get a Matthew Williams that's stepping up, it's his 3rd year, it's his opportunity to really go shine. You expect that from him, and the guys in that room expect it from him. So I'm really proud of guys like Caleb Cook and Pichon and Chandler for really, you know, bringing up that young crowd the way they should.
So taking a look at the injury report, you shared some updates in your press conference earlier today. Who came out alive against ODU, and where do we stand moving forward into Marshall?
Well, you know, I was talking to the guys yesterday after practice, and, you know, you get to play this game. You think about when you were a young kid and you were in Pee Wee football, and, you know, all you dreamed about was being at this level. It's a blessing to be here. You know, you're tired, you're hurt, you're in the grind, and guys are fighting as hard as they can right now, even through injuries. And so, you know, we came out, the guys that didn't finish in the game, obviously we talked about O.J. Arnold, we talked about Dalen Cobb, we talked about Jalen Brown, but then on the defensive side of the ball, J9, Justin Myers goes out with a knee injury. You have Devin Lowe, another interior big man. That's our 6th of the year. You know, the starting 3 deep has gone out right now with a shoulder. And then the young corner, who I'm really excited about, in Fabo Chaney, you know, re-aggravates his shoulder. So, you know, we've got to see tomorrow kind of where we're at with those guys, as well as the past injuries from the past 2 games. See who can carry on to Marshall in this last game as we fight for bowl eligibility.
And for those that obviously are not at a Tuesday practice, explain why Tuesday practices are so important to figure out where everyone is health-wise.
Yeah, you know, Tuesday's your most physical and most fast day. You know, we actually play the game. We always say we're winning the game on Tuesday. So you're getting your most live looks and you're getting your most full-speed action on a Tuesday. And basically, you've had that Sunday, Monday. Now it's Tuesday afternoon practice. You've had 72 hours to be able to say, okay, hey, where are we right now? What's the reality? What's the clarity? And some guys, as they go through Tuesday, they're not quite there yet, but you say, man, by Thursday and Friday they are. And then you see them on Tuesday, and sometimes you go, oh, no, this isn't going to happen this week. We're going to try to get him rehabbed and try to maybe make it for the next week.
Well, looking ahead to Marshall, head coach Tony Gibson in his first year. You and I spoke earlier, such a great defensive mind. What can you tell us so far that you're seeing from him and his team?
Yeah, Tony's done a great job there. Been really fascinated by the job he's done because he lost so many players, as you remember, last year coming off a Coach Huff team that he goes to Southern Miss. A lot of those players left. I think they lost 53 players off that team. He's got to rebuild the team and then institute his culture and his systems. And one thing I can tell you about Coach Gibson, unbelievable, fabulous defensive mind. You saw that at NC State. You saw it the 6 years that he was there. Plus, he's been at several Power 4 programs. He's a terrific defensive coach, and now he's shown himself. He earned that job as a head coach, and you see what type of leadership that he carries. Defensively, Whitney, they're ultra aggressive. They love the pressure. You see the 27 sacks on paper. You see the +6 turnover margin that these guys have, and they're wrecking havoc. They play a lot of man coverage. We'll see what they do against us on that, but they've done it to everybody. They walked up on Georgia and said, hey, we're playing man coverage. So there's not a lot of fear in their play calling. They attack, and you can tell the head coach's personality is within this defense.
Speaking of head coaches and personalities, when it comes to your preparation, you think about how most head coaches seem to be offensive-minded. For you, when it is yourself who's offensive-minded going up against a defensive mind, does that change your preparation at all, or does that excite you in different ways?
It's always, as a head coach, you get the opportunity to kind of look in all three phases. That's what I do each week. I got this question in media day earlier today about, Coach, do you play call? Do you how much are you involved in the game planning? And what I do is I talk to each coordinator, and 5 o'clock today, I talked to Blake Wilson. We sit down, we go through the game plan. I give him suggestions. I see maybe some personnel matchups to be able to exploit. Then I go into defense, and usually on Tuesdays, what we do is I get to actually be an offensive coordinator. I take the opposing offensive system, and I run the plays that I think that I would attack our defense with, being a former offensive coordinator, and get to work with the young kids, which is fun for me, and get to coach them. And then obviously, my trade is offense. And so that's where I lean more heavily. God bless Coach Applin for putting up with me and Coach Langford and the crew. But I lean on that. And, I've been a play caller for a long time. I'd never want to handcuff play callers within game. I give them suggestions going through the week of what they should anticipate getting, some ways to attack the opposing side. And then, Coach Applin allows me a couple times a game to be able to throw, about 6 times a game. I usually like to call the shots down the field.
I think that's allowed.
So,
that's fair.
So I usually throw a suggestion out there, and he's honorable enough to allow me to do it.
He's smart enough to know to let you do that.
No question.
Well, we obviously are talking Marshall defense, but tell me, what have you seen from their offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, offensively, here's another, running quarterback that just you look up and they do a fabulous job of having that spread offense with 2 runners. Obviously, the second half of the season, we've seen a lot of that. Rayner at Arkansas State, we saw that with Colton Joseph last week. And now we'll see where Carlos is at. He went out late in the App State game. He's had an ankle injury that's been off and on. Went out late in that game and did not return. So we'll see where he is in this game. But they have 2 quarterbacks that they use as runners, and that's what we're seeing primarily from this conference right now, is the ability to spread the field, have a running back and a quarterback back there, and be committed to running your quarterback 20 times. Now, that leads to injuries some, and we've seen those at some teams, but this is an offense that leans on the run game totally. They're averaging 200 yards a game, and something that we've got to do a great job of stopping.
And you look at the tail of the tape, the stats are very similar. Both teams will be playing for bowl eligibility. With all those things on the line, what do the Georgia Southern Eagles need to do on Saturday in Huntington to get the dub?
Yeah, we talk about pressure as a privilege, right? And you want your 12th game of the season to matter. There's 46 teams out there right now that don't get the opportunity to play in postseason. We're one of the 21 teams that are fighting like heck to get into the postseason. And somebody's going to be playing in a bowl game, and somebody's going fishing. And I don't want to go fishing yet.
I don't either.
So I'm looking forward forward to having the opportunity to go up there at a hard place to play in Huntington, West Virginia. We've never won there as a university. So here's that challenge again. You know, it feels like that App State game of being able to go to some place where, you know, there's a lot of expectations, there are a lot on the line, and what a great challenge. We get to do this. So our kids are fired up to get ready to go.
Well, I look forward to being there, Coach. We will let you go for now. Look forward to talking with Pichon Wimbley here in just a moment. But thanks so much for recapping ODU and looking ahead to Marshall.
Thank you, Whitney. Appreciate it. Hail Southern.
Georgia Southern fans, stand out on game day with Arena Graffiti. Authentic gear, bold designs, and your school spirit front and center. Whether you're heading to Paulson, tailgating with friends, or just walking across campus, Arena Graffiti has the sweatshirts, tees, polos, hats, and activewear that make you look and feel like part of Eagle Nation. Shop now at arenagraffiti.com and rep Statesboro like a true Eagle. Arena Graffiti, what's your arena?
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Hello, Georgia. As your governor, I have the honor of representing one of the most hardworking groups of people in our state. From sunup to sundown, our farmers work tirelessly to grow the best crops in the country.
Whether it's juicy peaches, sweet Vidalia onions, or crunchy pecans, Georgia farmers do it best.
That's why we invite you to take the Georgia Grown Challenge. Try any Georgia Grown product against any other state's produce, and we know you'll pick Georgia Grown.
Take the Georgia Grown Challenge and taste the difference for yourself.
Eagle Nation, this is Marcus Sack with MESAC Engineering. When we started our full-service engineering firm, there was a lot pulled from Coach Russell's playbook. MESAC Engineering is designed on precision performance with a do-right approach. Whether you're looking for water and wastewater engineering, transportation engineering, or a full suite of land surveying services, MESAC can deliver the right product at the right cost in the least amount of time. My wife Jennifer and I are both Georgia Southern alumni, and MESAC Engineering is proud to be a partner with Georgia Southern Athletics. Visit us online at mesac.com. Go Eagles.
In a world where everything changes, what do? You find something steady, a comforting hand, a dependable voice, a familiar face, someone who knows your story and your name. At Morris Bank, we've spent generations working to be just that for all of our customers. We've been right here with you through every season, every challenge, and every win. Times will change, but we know some things shouldn't, because it's not just banking, it's belonging, and it's why it pays to bank blue. Morris Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Why sit and wait when you can just pop in, grab, and go? At Parker's Kitchen, we serve breakfast made fresh in our kitchen at a price you can afford. Ready to grab and go. Fresh baked biscuits and croissants with your choice of crispy, juicy chicken tenders, sausage, bacon, egg, and cheese, plus sides. Ready to grab and go. Right now, get our new breakfast meal deal: a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, crispy hash browns, and a small hot coffee, all for $5.99. Just grab and go at Parker's Kitchen.
This is Hail Southern Live, powered by Learfield, live at Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro.
Welcome back to Hail Southern Live. Pichon Wimbley, I got you up here earlier than you were supposed to be because, like I said, there are no rules tonight when Danny Reed's not in the house. Coach Helton was supposed to be up here one more segment, but if anything, we'll just, keep everybody on their toes. Halftime for Georgia Southern men's basketball. They are down 2 against Youngstown State, 32-30, but we will keep an eye on that. But Pichon Wimbley, coming off your 50th consecutive start as an Eagle, congratulations on that. I think that deserves a round of applause.
Thank you.
Tell me, it's been a couple years down here in Statesboro. How special has it been to be an Eagle?
Statesboro has been a special place. It's always been home, and now I can really say it's home. I got my degree from here, got my 50th start here. This is home for me now. And then just how it just feels amazing. I put in a lot of work to get here, and just to know how far I've come, it means a lot.
You talk about getting your degree, epitome of a student athlete. You got your undergrad degree in 3 years, isn't that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then now working on your master's.
I'm working on an undergrad in psychology.
Okay, see, I can't even keep it all straight. So tell me exactly what all you've been getting your degrees in. What's the plan after football, whenever football ends?
So I got my first degree in exercise science because I want to go to PT school to become a physical therapist. But in the meantime, when I was getting my undergrad in exercise science, I took a lot of psychology classes, and I was going to be here for another year, my last year. So I decided to go back and get a psychology degree in the meantime.
And how have you used your psychology degree in the game of football?
Psychology, it's all about the minds, and with football, it's a lot of mental things too. So there's some things in some of my classes that I help pick up on, and I use in my everyday life.
And you and I spoke last week doing some interviews for some things that have yet to be released, but we talked a lot about obviously how special it's been to be down here in Statesboro, but also how special it is to be able to play for a university in your home state. So tell me more about when you were going through your recruiting process, knowing that you wanted to stay closer to home, and how neat it's been that you are only about 3 hours away from your family.
It's been nice to stay close to home. My parents have been to every home game since the beginning, some of the away games. And it meant a lot to stay near everybody just so friends and family could come see me play when they wanted to.
What have been some of your favorite memories as an Eagle?
Favorite memory would most definitely have to be my second start against Nebraska. That was a good one. And just that gave me a lot of confidence to say I could do what I do at this level. And then I would also have to say JMU my freshman year, or probably my top 2 favorite games.
And when you're talking to people and trying to help them understand how special it is to be a member of Georgia Southern and Georgia Southern's football team and a member of Eagle Nation, what do you tell them?
It's just a special place, and the fans are what make it special. The fans show up every Saturday, cheer us on, sometimes on Thursdays, and it's just the fans are what make it special.
Obviously, you've played your last game in Paulson Stadium, but talk to that power of Paulson. When you're on the sideline, naturally, of course, you're the home team, so they're not yelling at you in a bad way. But tell me how neat it is to be able to actually take that in and hear how the power and the loud and the cheers truly does help the atmosphere.
The cheers and everything really does bring us more energy, but I've also heard it like affect the game when games are on the line. Teams have really had to call timeouts because their offense can't hear.
And speaking of the offense, we'll look at your position group in particular. You know, Coach just mentioned it, how you all as a veteran group are starting to help the younger guys, but you told me last week how older guys, when you first came in, helped you. So tell me, when you first walked in here as a young Pichon, who were some of those guys that helped you to learn how the Georgia Southern offensive line will work?
I feel like the biggest guy who helped me is still on staff and still helps me to this day is Khalil Crowder. I'll say this till the end of times. Khalil is one of the biggest reasons why I got through my freshman year. He taught me a lot of things that I still take into this day, and even when I go to the sideline, he's like, hey, look at this, look at that, things that I just don't think of because he has a great mind for football.
And who have been some of the younger guys that you've realized, hey, I can be their Khalil for them?
One of the biggest ones, he's a freshman, Brandon Stoner. I really like him, and like Coach Helton was saying earlier, Matthew Williams, he stepped up a lot, and I was able to help him out during the games a little bit. And it's just seeing that, and I see them taking bigger roles as time goes on.
And as you look back at Saturday's game when Johnny went down and you had to have Matthew go in and things like that, what did you tell them in those moments to make sure, hey, like, you were built for this moment?
It really doesn't take a lot because I know who Matthew is as a guy. Just gave him a fist bump and said, let's go. Because I knew he had it in him, and I just knew he didn't need a lot of confidence in him because he already had it. He just needed to know that I was there.
That's awesome. And of course, it's Thanksgiving week, so I'm going to ask you, and I'll ask Coach Helton when he gets back up here at one point, but, you know, just tell us, what are you most thankful for?
I'm thankful for the people that I have around me, my friends and my family, and just how they've helped me get to where I am today.
And we'll have a big Thanksgiving meal for the team on Wednesday. Tell me, who's going to eat the most at that Thanksgiving meal?
I got to say Johnny Brown.
Okay, well, that will make Caleb Cook feel a lot better because J.C. French told me earlier that it was going to be Cookie. So at least we've gotten another one. Why is it that the offensive linemen always get the pick?
I don't know.
Why not defensive linemen?
See, I was just thinking of my position group, but outside of my
you can expand.
Outside of my position group, I'll probably say Trell.
Okay, yes. That would make sense. All right, so between Caleb Cook, Latrell Bullard, or Johnny Brown, now who's going to eat the most?
I feel like it just depends on what day it is. I feel like they can all eat.
Okay, all right, we'll see what happens then. Tell me what's your favorite Thanksgiving side dish or tradition?
Favorite Thanksgiving side dish I'll have to say is mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese? All right. Who makes the mac and cheese for your Thanksgiving meal?
My mom.
Your mom?
Only one that can touch it.
Oh, okay. Mom, well, we look forward to hopefully having your mac and cheese one day. Can she get some down to Statesboro for us?
She might be able to do something for
Okay, that would be greatly appreciated. Well, Pichon, certainly appreciate you being up here tonight. Cannot wait to see what's to come against Marshall, and we are so proud of all that you have done as a Georgia Southern Eagle thus far.
Thank you.
We will be back to Hell Southern Live here in just a minute.
With a commitment to quality and family tradition, our top-selling red pepper jelly is a sweet, spicy delight made with only the finest ingredients. Perfect for appetizers, glazes, or your favorite recipes. From our family to yours, Braswell's brings time-honored recipes and premium quality to every jar. Taste the tradition with America's top-selling and award-winning jams, dressings, sauces, and mustards. Braswell's is available at grocers nationwide or visit our website, www.braswells.com.
Nothing kicks off your game better than a handful of Georgia peanuts. Power packed with protein, essential nutrients, and great taste. Georgia peanuts are the MVP for affordability, sustainability, and nutrition. To score life's touchdowns with recipes and fun facts, check out GAPeanuts.com. The perfectly powerful peanut is brought to you by the family farmers of the Georgia Peanut Commission.
Peanut! Get your peanut!
Since 1945, the Sack Company has established its reputation by safely providing high-quality construction services. The Sack Company consistently demonstrates the highest level of professionalism, safety, and attention to details. Their hands-on experience in all phases of construction assure that you will get quality performance in a timely and cost-effective method. Accountability, care, excellence, innovation, integrity, safety, teamwork. The Sack Company. We bring business to life. At Tidewater Equipment Company in Brooklyn, we understand how important every hour is when you're farming. We have an exceptional parts and service department, an extensive used equipment inventory, and we are exclusive distributors of Case IH tractors, planters, sprayers, combine balers, and more. We're here for everything you need when it comes to agriculture. Visit Tidewater in Brooklyn or online at TidewaterEquip.com, your premier Case IH tractor dealer. To those who work in acres, not ours, we thank you.
There's a science to preparing your home for hurricane season in coastal Georgia and South Carolina.
And Window World is here to help. Our impact-rated windows and doors are tough and tested to protect your home from damaging wind, debris, and rain. Right now, take advantage of special financing with no interest if paid in full within 15 months. Call for your free consultation today. Window World of coastal Georgia and South Carolina.
Your local hurricane impact specialist.
Next time you need a dozer, a light tower, a scissor lift, or any other job site supplies, call Yancey Rents at 1-844-YNC-RENT or visit YanceyRents.com and get the best maintained equipment in Georgia. With 17 locations around the state and a new expanded lineup of equipment ready to be rented right now, Yancey Rents wants to be your preferred rental supplier in Georgia. Again, that's 1-844-YNC-RENT or visit YanceyRents.com. In a world where everything changes, what do? You find something steady, a comforting hand, a dependable voice, a familiar face, someone who knows your story and your name. At Morris Bank, we've spent generations working to be just that for all of our customers. We've been right here with you through every season, every challenge, and every win. Times will change, but we know some things shouldn't, because it's not just banking, it's belonging, and it's why it pays to bank blue. Morris Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
BBWH Insurers, owned and operated by Georgia Southern alumni, has been serving Southeast Georgia since 1888. Our partnerships with quality A-rated carriers such as Central Mutual Insurance Companies provide affordable and comprehensive coverage for your family and business. BBWH Insurers protects and supports our own. That's our true blue promise to you. Call me, Brad Powell, at 912-764-9602 or visit us online at bbwhins.com and go Eagles.
This is Hail Southern Live, powered by Learfield, live at Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro.
Welcome back to Hail Southern Live. Coach Helton, in your next segment, previous segment, we were kind of talking about some keys to victory for Marshall, but let's dive a little bit more in depth there. Tell me in particular, we always kind of talk about 3 keys, so tell me what those are.
Yeah, I think we have to, when you look at us as far as a team and where our successes have been this year, it's been really the balance of run and pass and being efficient in the run game. Not necessarily, rushing for 300 yards, but making sure that we support the quarterback with a run game that's getting 4.5, 5 yards a carry, that's setting up 3rd and medium and 3rd and short, and you're not in those 3rd and long situations, which we were in several last week. I think that's the one key. And then being more explosive down the field. We talked a little bit about that in the media. 3 things that I always look for when I come off the field in the stat sheet. 1, did we win the turnover battle? 2, did we stay on the field and get off the field with 3rd down efficiency? And then I look at the average yards per play. And a good number is 6 or more. If you go look at all our wins, if we have 6 yards at 6-yard average per play, we've won every game. At 6.5 is elite. We were number 1 in the country last week against Coastal Carolina at 8.7. We led the way for the entire country. So those are really the 2 areas offensively that I see that we've got to do a great job this week, is being more balanced in the run game, being efficient, being able to create those advantage coverages where you have Cam Brown and you have Marcus Sanders, that they're pretty efficient when they get to push the ball down the field and create those opportunities. Defensively, I really think it's going to be about being better on 1st and 2nd down and stopping the run. I thought we did a good job handling the running back on the inside zones, but Colton was able to get out on the perimeter. And here's another running quarterback that we're getting ready to see. And, our players were in position. Sometimes they were making plays. Sometimes Colton made a miss and created extra yards and created explosive yardage plays. We've got to do a better job of getting the quarterback down, getting to 3rd and long, where when we get that's Brandon's specialty. That's Coach Bailey's specialty. You get in 3rd and long situation, his disguises, his blitzes, are hard on quarterbacks. So that's what I see right now as far as the keys.
You talk about Camden Brown and Marcus Sanders Jr. I mean, Camden has just been truly a positive light in his 1 year here in Statesboro. He's got a couple records that are creeping up. I'm not going to say them because I'm superstitious, but tell me the impact that he has had on this program.
I'm so proud of Cam. I remember going through the recruiting process with him, and he was offered in today's time a lot of money in different areas, even to stay at Auburn, and he chose to invest in himself. He said, you know what, I've had the opportunity to be in college. I want the opportunity to be a star in college. I want to be someplace where I'm needed, where I can make an impact, and be a part of a system that fits him. And he was the perfect fit for us, and we were the perfect fit for him. And with a guy that only had 1 year left, and it was his most important year, to go make it happen like he has, 12 touchdown catches. He's got a chance to be a 1,000-yard receiver, in this game. There's a lot on the line, and he's a guy that's going to play on Sundays. I truly believe he's going to be an NFL draft pick this year. We've had every NFL team come through and be able to scout him. He's going to be one of those that's going to be playing on Sundays and representing the Eagles for a long time.
And competition breeds excellence, so how have you seen him bring up a Marcus Sanders and others in the position room?
Well, I tell you, I'm so proud of Marcus. Here's a guy that, was at first class. Him, Dalen, OJ, Pichon. And this class is really special. That class was really special, one, because it was the first year of them saying, okay, hey, Coach, you're going to take an option offense and you're going to do what? You're going to go throw the ball around, and I want to be a part of that, and you're going to bring a quarterback in like Kyle Van Treese and be able to do that. And not only did they believe in coming, but then in today's time they stayed. With everything going on around, different schools trying to pick at them. They said, you know what? I'm true blue. I want to be an Eagle. I want to graduate from Georgia Southern. I want to be a part of this legacy. And they got an opportunity to do something extremely special in this game, which is 4 bowl games in a row. Never been done at the university. And that's a legacy. And in Marcus's case, man, he's having his best year this year. Him and Cam, I've always thought that you don't ever want to be the man in an offense, because if you're the man, guess what's going to happen?
You're always covered.
You're always covered, because smart people are going to double you at all times. But when you look up and you have a Marcus Sanders and a Dalen Cobb and a Amon Green and an O.J. Arnold and a Cam Brown in an offense, you got to pick your poison. And somebody's going to go off. If you try to go help out on the outside, guess what? O.J.'s going to go for 300 yards, and, Dalen's going to have 8 catches, over the middle. And so if you try to stop O.J., guess what? You're going to have, Cam Brown catching 12 touchdowns and Marcus going deep like he did last game. So it's to and fro with those two, and they've been just absolute joys this year as a combination.
And we talk about then, okay, someone's got to throw them that ball. J.C. French the other week, 35 career passing touchdowns, breaks the record for most passing touchdowns, passing names like Tracy Ham. How special was that when you heard that stat?
Yeah, to be able to have the opportunity to watch J.C. grow, and he played a stint that I really thought was some of his best football since he's been here. He's protected the ball better. His decision-making has been better. He's been using his legs to be able to create first downs. He's become a mature and poised quarterback. He really has, and has done a nice job this year. There's been some ups and downs as a team, but he's been a stable force this year for us in moving the ball and scoring. And as he excels, our team has excelled. You look at, we've had 5 games over 35 points, 4 games over 40 points. A lot of it is because he's done a nice job of driving this ship.
And we've got one question in from social media from Brant. He would like to know, what's one thing about this team that fans may not see on Saturdays, but you think deserves recognition?
I wish everybody could stay with our team for 1 week and see how hard these guys prepare, and see how much goes into it. From getting your lifts in, to studying tape, to doing the rehabilitation to get ready for the game, how hard they practice, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, how much time they give to this game and give to this university, and how hard they compete in practice. The preparation that these guys do, and that's what always makes me sick. As thrilled as you are to go up to App State and get a huge victory in the first week of November, then come back and be a part of that Coastal Carolina game, you're just thrilled because you saw how hard they work. And then they do the exact same thing, and it doesn't pay off. And I was telling them, sometimes the game doesn't pay you back. You put all that preparation in, and it doesn't pay you back because you lack the execution that you had the 2 weeks prior. And so half of this game is about the preparation. If you fail to prepare, you're preparing to fail. And then the other half of it is the execution on Saturdays, is carrying over that preparation and executing it on Saturday. And when you do both, you end up with victories.
Well, there you go. And the neat thing is for you, you do welcome everyone out to practice if they want to join. They are open practices. The only thing we ask is that you don't take photos and you don't take videos so the opponent can't see things.
Yeah, there's so many great traditions at Georgia Southern. And when I first came here, I said, hey, we're going to honor all traditions and fight like heck for innovation in everything we do. And one of the special things, I love getting on the yellow school bus. I love freedom 2 being back now. And part of it is always welcomed everybody. This is a community-based school, and we're going to have another attendance record when everything's said and done this year, and it's because Eagle Nation cares about this football team. It cares about its players. It cares about its brand, and it's a special place. So having the opportunity to represent it week in and week out has been an honor of my life.
Well, we'll talk some more about that community and who makes Georgia Southern football when we come back in a few minutes after this break. Coach, thanks so much.
Thank you.
World where everything changes, what do? You find something steady, a comforting hand, a dependable voice, a familiar face, someone who knows your story and your name. At Morris Bank, we've spent generations working to be just that for all of our customers. We've been right here with you through every season, every challenge, and every win. Times will change, but we know some things shouldn't, because it's not just banking, it's belonging, and it's why it pays to bank blue. Morris Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Since 1945, the Sack Company has established its reputation by safely providing high-quality construction services. The Sack Company consistently demonstrates the highest level of professionalism, safety, and attention to details. Their hands-on experience in all phases of construction assure that you will get quality performance in a timely and cost-effective method. Accountability, care, excellence, innovation, integrity, safety, teamwork. The Sack Company. We bring business to life.
Your cargo transportation choice in Savannah and the Southeast. For freight management, consolidation, warehousing, and more, including flexible and responsive drayage solutions. Your success is our final destination. Savannah Logistics Group.
A logistics company that strives to deliver the best drivers, employees, and customer experience through our core values of empowerment, innovation, and consistency. Savannah Logistics Group, a proud supporter of Georgia Southern Athletics. At Tidewater Equipment Company in Brooklyn, we understand how important every hour is when you're farming. We have an exceptional parts and service department, an extensive used equipment inventory, and we are exclusive distributors of Case IH tractors, planters, sprayers, combine balers, and more. We're here for everything you need when it comes to agriculture. Visit Tidewater in Brooklyn or online at tidewaterequip.com, your premier Case IH tractor dealer. To those who work in acres, not ours, we thank you.
Whether you're cheering from the 50-yard line or your living room couch, Citizens Bank of the South is proud to stand with you in support of the Georgia Southern Eagles. From student checking to home loans, they've got your back on campus, in their communities, and beyond. Owned and managed by a strong group of Georgia Southern alumni, Team Seabots is fiercely loyal and always bring their best, just like the Eagles. Citizens Bank of the South is banking built for champions. Local, loyal, loud, and proud to be in Sandersville, Statesboro, and Milledgeville. Visit them today at Seabots.com. FDIC insured and an equal opportunity employer.
Don't let an injury keep you on the sidelines. Go where the pros go. Optum Orthopedics. They're the official orthopedic and team physicians for Georgia Southern Athletics. Thanks to Optum, our Eagles get the best care on and off the field. The good news is that Optum is here for you too. Located in our community, Optum is the leader in advanced orthopedic care throughout the Southeast. Like the Eagles, you deserve the freedom to soar. And with Optum's fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons, you will. Your team, your community, your freedom. Optum Orthopedics. Schedule online today.
This is Hail Southern Live, powered by Learfield, live at Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro.
Welcome back to Hail Southern Live. Coach, I know you talked a lot last week with Danny Reed about the senior class and the impact that they have made on this program, and you mentioned it even just a minute ago, but now that you've even walked through the senior day ceremony and you enter into that last regular season game, just tell me at least a little bit more how special that class is to you.
Mercer, you're going to get me emotional. There's something, we're in the trust relationship business, and this was the first group. I remember walking into their homes. I'm looking at one right now sitting with Pichon, walking in his home, meeting his family. He's become part of my family. My dad would adopt him for the rest of his life, I think. This is a special group because they chose to come to Georgia Southern and be a part of this with us. They've made so many special memories. You think about those freshmen that are now seniors. They've beaten a Power 4 team, only the second time in the history of the school. They've beaten a top 25 team at home. That was only the third time. They've had the opportunity. I think about those rivalry games. They've won 3 out of 4 versus App State, 3 out of 4 versus Georgia State, 3 out of 4 versus Coastal Carolina. They've done so much. And then you think about some of the guys that have just joined us and said, hey, I want to be a part of this with y'all. And they're on the brink of, trying to get to their 4th straight bowl game. And so, this whole game is about relationships. And that's what I love about Georgia Southern. It's why I came here. It's not a 4-year relationship. It's a lifetime. It's family. And I've been at places where it's not that way. And this is one of those places you hear our players, I'm always going to be an Eagle. I always want to be close with Georgia Southern. I always want to live in this area. South Georgia is a special place, and we're all glad to be here.
And in just a few days, it'll be National Signing Day. So what can you share with Eagle Nation about some hopeful signees that you're going to get.
Yeah, one of the things, the blueprint that we've always had will remain the same. You look at what Irk did and the blueprint that we followed. We've signed 81 high school players in our first 3 years here. 59 of those are from the great state of Georgia. The rest are from the attached state of Alabama, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Tennessee. And so when you do that, you're able to have great retention because guys wanted to be here. They wanted to be a part of this, and that's why you see so many seniors that are here and getting their degrees, and some of them getting their second degrees, their masters. But these guys chose to be here, and now you look up, and here comes the next class. We're anticipating somewhere between another 17 to 19 freshmen sign. We'll hold right there. We're in a new phase right now, Whitney, of which has been I think a really great change for college football, being able to move the portal window to January after the bowl games to allow guys not to feel the pressure of, okay, I get the opportunity to truly sit down and talk with Coach after the regular season, see what the landscape looks like, be able to have discussions about, hey, is this best for me? Rather than, oh, the season's done, the window's opening up a week later, I got to make a quick decision. Oh, my gosh, we're part of bowl games. And kids were missing bowl games. And as you know, we're a TV-driven business. We're in the entertainment business. And one of our best products is our postseason bowl game opportunities and playoffs. So to be able to move it back, I think has taken the pressure off everybody. And now we get to be able to sign, 17 to 19 really good high school football players, then see where we're at in this new landscape. January 2nd through January 16th is going to be a really interesting time. I think
a busy time
for everybody, for everybody. And we'll see where we're at. I expect great retention again. And, where needs are that we need to fill immediately, we need to go find the next Cam Brown and the next Amon Green, and be able to find guys that can come in here like Brandon Harrington and like Brandon Tyson. If there's a specific need that we feel that we need an older gentleman at, we're going to go. If there's like the offensive line right now is so strong and very deep, I don't feel like we'll need to go there in that. So we get to sign a bunch of young offensive linemen, So you pick and choose. You see where the attrition is. But I know it's taken a lot of pressure off the coaches. And thank goodness, most importantly, it's taken a lot of pressure off the players. I've always believed finish what you start, and now these guys are being able to finish what they start.
You talk about going into, players' homes and sitting on those couches and talking to those families. In this ever-changing landscape of college athletics, have those visits changed, or how have you adapted to those conversations to know that, hey, when your son comes to play for me, they are my baby?
Yeah, the relationship really happens early in high school, and that's what really I enjoy. Guys come to camp, during the summer. I'm able to get out in January. This new college calendar has made December a dead period. You used to have home visits. Now it's a true dead period. So, those January months, them getting on campus in the spring, doing official visits over the summer, official visits and coming to games through the fall, you're building that relationship now. And we always say, recruiting is your lifeline. It's your lifeblood. You have to be able to work at it. It's an everyday thing. And so there is no days off for a college football coach. You're either developing somebody, or game planning, or you're recruiting the next great student athlete to be a part of your family.
And of course, I mentioned this to Pichon earlier, but of course it's Thanksgiving week, so you have a lot of family here tonight joining us. Tell me, why are you so thankful for all of them and how special it is to have them here this week?
Well, I look at them and I see the sacrifices they've made to allow me to do this game for 31 years as a coach and 5 years as a player. I look at my mom, I look at my mother-in-law and my wife, and my two sons are here. My daughter comes in tomorrow, and I think about how much time is taken away. When you're preparing, I've got 3 children by birth. I've got 120 adopted sons that you watch after, and sometimes you feel like you're raising other people's kids. And I learned something very valuable. My dad is my hero and my mentor, and it's not about the amount of time, it's the quality of time. And so you find these windows of opportunity, and I've got 13 of my family here in town for a week, going through a football week with us, and the greatest gift you can give is time, and they're giving me their time, which is very special.
So I ask, who's going to eat the most at a Thanksgiving meal, and I keep hearing the offensive lineman. Okay, I was going to say, out of your family, who's going to eat the most?
I can promise you it's me. You go through the week and you look at, it'll be between me and my oldest son. He eats a ton on Thanksgiving too.
And he's proud of it out there, I can tell.
Yeah, he is. Big Rito is proud of it. But as far as our team goes, it's going to be one of the. Pichon, help me.
He said Latrell.
There ain't no question. I don't even know what I was thinking about. Yeah. Big Trell is going to be, yes.
Okay.
He'll eat his weight worth in turkey.
Well, we'll see what happens on Wednesday when we cook all of those turkeys. Coach, thank you as always for sitting down with me and talking Georgia Southern football. Look forward to going 1-0 this weekend up in Huntington against Marshall.
Thank you, Whitney. Great job in replacing Danny and Hail Southern.
Thank you very much. So for Cam Brown, Danny Reed, and Clay Helton and Pichon Wimbley, I'm Whitney Haworth. Thanks for watching.